Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and good morning first of all. So today I have two interviews scheduled. So one is online and one is offline. So I'll take you along with me offline and 3 days I have back to back interviews. So just a second. So this is the process of me switching the job. So I have 1.7 years of experience. So let's see, is it hard or is it very easy to find a job as a company secretary, and what is the salary package that they offer. And it's the real time video where I go and give interviews and tell you what did they ask and how many rounds were there and how was the company, what are you supposed to answer. So I think the introduction is enough and we are good to go. So be along with me as I show various clips of various firms and companies. By the way, I'm giving interview in both firms and company for the position of company secretary or assistant company secretary. What is the salary range they offer and how to negotiate the salary range? What is the breakup? How much you get in hand, and what are the interview questions. So I've given interviews in various firms and companies, so everyone I've asked a different question, but the basics remain the same. So this video is very important, whether you are an article, whether you are experienced giving an interview, whether you are a fresher. This is the one and only guidance video and real time video where I take you to all the interview spots, and I'll film as much as they allow. I won't film them, I won't film the interview process, of course, but you will get a majority of clips. And I assure you, this is the first time on YouTube someone has shown their real time experience of going to the interviews and all that struggle before getting a job. So welcome to my channel, and if you like such unique content which no one has posted before, make sure to like and subscribe. We are very near for 1000 subscribers and let's grow together. And yeah, as a company secretary, I'll show you what all I experience, real time experience. And I know as a student you must be wondering that what will be the process when I pass, when I start giving interviews. So I hope this process of giving interview gives you some tips which makes your process easy when it's your turn to give interviews. So yeah, let's start the video. Let's start from the first step. How do you apply for a job and how do you get to know if there is any vacancy? The first thing is you generally have to Google jobs for company secretary, assistant company secretary, or articles in your location like Mumbai, Hyderabad. Then select the place where you see the vacancy. Generally, Naukri.com is the site. Once you click on the required company, you're set to log in. So enter your basic details like name, area, and upload your updated CV. First, search for the relevant company which you want to apply. Read its terms and see that it fits your criteria. Once you have selected that company, click on login, or if you don't have an account in Naukri.com, click on register to apply. And then enter your email ID and password, and then your account will be created. So once you have your account in Naukri.com, many of the recruiters will be calling you and make sure your profile is updated. So you need to enter the same email ID which you will be receiving your interview calls from. And once you have an account, it will be very useful in now and in future. So make sure you make an account in Naukri.com. So you see here I'm entering my email ID, my password, and then logging in as I already have my account. So this is my account. I'm just showing you the basic details here. So this is my Naukri.com profile. Let me show you here. And you have to click on it and update all your details here. Make sure that the details are updated so that the interviewers and the HRs find it easy to reach to you. You guys also have to write your expected salary and your current salary. The first question which they will ask you, if you are an experienced person, is what's your current salary and what's your expected salary. So that information is also to be written in notary.com, but don't worry, no one can see that information, and along with that an updated CV should also be uploaded. So how to draft the CV if you're in an article or if you're someone else is in my coming video. So make sure to subscribe this channel to see how to design your CV. So once you have selected this, these are the types of questions which will be asked, and as per yes or no, please answer them like, do you have experience in listed companies, or do you have membership with ICSI, yes or no. And once you have updated all these details, your application will be automatically submitted. So this is one of the easiest way how you can apply for this job. So once you have applied, you will get a call from the HR scheduling the interview. So the next slide is about the interview call. You will be generally called on Zoom meet, and the first round will be the technical round. So this is how the email looks like when you get a call for first round HR interview. Okay, so this is me going to the first interview. This building you see here is where I have my first interview. So as I mentioned earlier, I have two interview places. One is a company, one is a firm, and this is currently Mumbai location. So you go through a local and then walk a little or get a share taxi. So transport is Mumbai is quite difficult. So this is the first company in which today I had a HR call on the phone, in which they generally asked what is your family background, what do you do, what is your experience. So just they generally want to verify that your background is nice and quite educated one. So as I told you, first round was HR, in which they asked me one, what does your mom do, what does your dad do, what does your brother do, and where do you live currently. Is it okay for you to travel here, and this is the timings, are you okay, and how much salary are you expecting, and tell me something about yourself. So in this you have to generally say that this is my education, I have completed from these areas, and if you have any work experience, so you have to tell them the work experience, and if you have any significant awards, you can tell them that also. So this is me at the interview spot waiting for my turn, and I have carried a CV with me. That's it. So post the interview, a quick update for you all. So first of all, they made me wait 10 minutes, and it was a company which I mentioned earlier. They were looking for a role of company secretary. It means my name will be shown in the MCA. And first was, again the HR round, in which they revised the terms and made sure that I'm okay with the terms, and then they proceeded with the technical round. So in technical round, what did they actually ask me was a quite 10 to 20 set of questions, which was quite elaborate. It took nearly 2 to 3 hours to get through all the rounds. So let me just tell you what did they ask in technical round. So in technical round, they started with saying, introduce me something about the work you have done. So I started by saying that I have worked in a top PCS firm in Hyderabad during my articleship days, and in that period I have learned all the basic secretarial work, starting from the annual filing minutes, maintaining records, and also I have done listed fine compliances, and I have handled nearly 50 companies and 5 listed compliances with a quarterly, half yearly. And apart from this, I have done XBRL. Apart from that, I have drafted various documents like MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, entrenchment of AOA, and this is what I learned in articleship days. All the basics to the perfection. Next, when we come to experience after getting my membership, in 2024, I had joined a firm called as XYZ, and there I got to experience mergers, demergers, apart from the annual filings. And you need to mention that what position are you in, like you were the head, you used to handle everything independently, or you were reporting to someone, you were under someone, you were junior, senior, etc. So I gave them a confirmation that I could handle all the compliances independently, and yes, you can assign people under me. I am well qualified to handle their work also, to check their work also. So that's what position they were looking for, and that's what confidence I gave them in the first para itself, in the first introduction of me itself. So apart from this, I told them I had worked in an IPO. So if your company in future is planning to go for an IPO, I also have experience in that. And after getting listed, if you need any listing compliance related regulations, I have done that as well. So there's no reason why you won't take me. I have done every kind of work, starting from the basics to the most experienced work. Although I have not done major things and completely not done like buyback or anything like that, but I have touched upon these topics, and I'm quite sure that I will be able to handle it once, if I am provided with that opportunity. So if you have not dealt with something, you just say that, if you get an opportunity in future, your basics are quite strong and you will be able to handle it in future. So this was the first introduction question which they asked, and I set the grounds very clear for them. The second question which they asked was, tell me something about related party transaction. So 188, the basic standards questions which every company asks is 188. Then they moved on and asked about 185 and 186, which is loans to directors and loans to other entities. So these two sections are also most commonly asked in interview. Apart from this, they also ask about 197 and 198, which is remuneration to directors. So this is also one of the most important schedule. So how do you actually read these all schedules? Is you go to YouTube, you just type these sections and watch the lectures. So this is the best technique to do if you want to read these sections, and sections I have mentioned before are the most important. Apart from this, interviewer's favorite question is CSR section 135. Read the section by heart and they will surely ask you this. So if you have mentioned listed compliance in your resume, then you need to know about quarterly, half yearly, and annual compliances. So they will ask you what are the quarterly things do you do. So you need to just tell them, regulation 13 of LODR, regulation 27 corporate governance, and you just quote them these sections and just explain them how do you do quarterly filings. And if you have done just partly, which most company secretaries do, because listed companies have their own secretarial team, so just tell them that I have done only till the secretarial part, but as I know this, it won't be a problem for me to learn the next few steps also. So they won't mind, because if you think from a interviewer's perspective also, they never get person who is exactly matching their wantings. So they also compromise up to a certain level, and we also need to compromise a certain level, as to we won't get everything in one company, we won't get every exposure in one company. So as to the question as to I should go in a company or a firm, if you want more exposures, more probability of learning all the work, go in a firm. And if you want a well settled life and a limited exposure, go in a company. The work you do in both the areas are very different, but make sure you get remunerated enough, and please don't compromise your remuneration. Most people will say you that it's the age of learning, so don't see how much salary you get. I say you have to see the salary you get. It's very important for you to see how much salary you get in hand, and please demand, and it's your right to demand enough amount of salary. So I have seen company secretaries quoting very much, and this is not right. So see the market cap, see how much in market generally company secretaries with this much experience, this much areas of expertise are getting, then quote your own range. And I swear, like this interview, I had quoted my range and they gave me exactly the same range. They did not even say that no, it's not the range, we will lower it. They did not negotiate basically. So what I asked, I got this, but will I select this company or not? Let's see. You should not jump to the conclusion. If the companies can take 2 to 3 days to decide, so I think you can also take 2 to 3 days to decide, and tell them upfront that I'm considering it, so give me some time to discuss with the family. I think this line is very important. Please don't say that I'm looking for other interview. Okay, so this interview is done. Now after a small lunch, I have another interview in a firm, so let's go. Hi guys, so currently I'm going for an interview in a firm. So earlier what I showed was a company, now it's a firm. So let's see how the interview process is. And yeah, this is what I'm wearing. So my technical round was done, now just the HR round is pending. So let's see how it goes. So this is the place where my interview is going to be conducted in our firm. Nearly 2 hours later, the interview ended, and this is me returning back to my home. So, what did they ask in the interview? So, as my technical round was already done, which they asked similar set of questions, which I told you earlier. In this HR round, they just made me meet the team lead and they just negotiated salary. Now it's very important to know how to negotiate salary. As it's Mumbai, this is me traveling in a local at the office hours where it's time for all to return home and it's packed full. So this is your life in Mumbai. So anyone planning to travel to Mumbai or any of the metro cities, be ready to have such hustle. Um, Anyways, getting back to the topic, in HR round they negotiated salary, and while negotiating salary you have to be very firm and say that I need XYZ amount and I'm not willing to decrease it further. So this is the start of next day, and next day I had a interview from one more company. So good morning guys, this is the start of a fresh day where I prepared for interview of the third and last company which I selected and from which I got an offer for interview. So total the way 5 to 6 companies which I applied through Naukri.com and all way through Naukri.com, and I rejected few because the locations were quite far away, and I selected few of them which appeared to be a good choice. And after selecting them I had an interview scheduled with all three. So two you saw on the previous clips and one I have today. So again I have no such preparation in place because with the help of experience of the previous interviews I know which 4 to 5 topics they're going to touch, and the most important thing here was confidence. So this is the footage of me trying to calm down for another interview round and last interview round, last thing I travel to. And this is my morning routine where I go to the gym, I fresh up in the gym, and then I start my work. So this clips you are seeing is of my gym. So this is my gym in Mumbai. Anyhow, so today I have again the same, all the technical, all the rounds basically, just the basic background verification is done. So this company appears to be a public limited company, and so this is me trying to say all the details of it, how I choose a company. So I aim for listed company or a public company. Listed company opportunities you get really less, but in public company going for an IPO, it's a great scope for you. So, but this company, there's one negative aspect, that is no Saturday Sundays are off, and they have 9 hour work week, which is not so good. So this is me sitting in the metro ready to go. So earlier two clips were about local and this is about metro. So different modes of transportation also I've showed you, different companies, firms also I've shown you. So it's near, it's convenient to travel by metro if you want to join this company. So hence I'm traveling by metro, and it was way more relaxing to travel in metro than travel in local. So as you know, half of your time in job will go in traveling. So I choose areas which are near to my home, as I get more time to spend in work rather than to spend more time in traveling. So as I said, this companies had no weekday off. It means no Saturdays off. Some people have preference of that. I generally have preference of having Saturdays off. And also it had 9 hour work week. Other companies had 8 hour or 8.5 hour work week. Also, an important point to ask them is the salary. So their salary is credited between 10 days to 15 days. And you also need to do basic background verification of the company. Go to LinkedIn and then ask any person who is working there, just message them, hey, can I talk to you, and then just ask them the number and call them and ask them how is the company. It's very important for you to know whether the company you're getting in is good or not, because once you say yes, you are stuck in that company, and it's not easy for you to find another job and switch the company if you find that that company is not so good. So this is the area. The area was quite nice, let me tell you, and this is the company. I'm waiting in the area before they called me, and within 5 minutes they had called me. And this is me walking out of the interview process, and Yeah, so what is the, what actually happened in the last company was that they actually liked my profile and they did not ask me anything. Like, they did not ask me anything in technical round. They just offered me the salary and they said that join us. So it felt really nice seeing that all three companies I had gone in, all three had selected me. They, some of them have replied within 2 to 3 days, but some of them have immediately given me joining offer. One of the companies, I won't name them, said that, whatever your previous salary is, we are willing to take you in that salary. And I was very disappointed. And at that point I thought that, what if I don't get in other companies? Should I say yes, should I say no? So the moral is, don't immediately jump to conclusions. You will get more bigger offers. Just be patient, and just don't refuse them. Also, just ask them for 2 to 3 days, and in that meantime, as I did, go to other companies, give interviews, and maybe you will find a better company. So immediately just don't say that, yeah, this is the company, this is what I'm going to work in. Just go explore. The more you explore, the more you know, is what I always say. So here they just made me meet the director, and here also the position was company secretary, and they just wanted me to join immediately. But as I said you before, the terms were more stricter, and I needed to work for more days, so I did not join that company. But anyhow, I decided to join a firm. Now, why a firm? Actually, company looks more aesthetic and more pleasing on the upfront, but it's more stricter than a firm. Also, the level of work which I'm willing to aim for is being offered by the firm. So these are the clips of the company. I know firm doesn't look as aesthetic as a company. It doesn't have glass doors. It doesn't have fancy coffee machines. But I always will prefer a firm over a company. Why? Because after some time, the people you work with in a firm become your family. And believe me, the area of work which you do there is irreplaceable. So thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.